right. First and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash. The belongs to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and who is worthy to be counted for the honors. Peace and citation to you brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for love of the gospel. It's the brother Gabaria from the Indiana camp. Coming back at you again, another sit down. Another etymology of words video. If you see it right here, I have the word justice, and we're gonna go into this word, read about what etymology has to say about it. Pull a few scriptures. I'm not gonna try to make this video too long, but without further ado, let's go ahead and just get started. This is the word justice. All right, the word justice. It says to exercise the authorities in a vindication of rights. It says by assigning reward or punishment. Also, quality of being fair and just, morals, soundness, and comfort to truth. You see, justice, legal, right, jurisdiction, righteousness, equal, and upright. See, so we understand, etymology basically saying, justice is to be equal, is to be upright, is to be justice, is to be righteousness, to assign a reward or punishment, So with that being said, everything that the so-called white man who we call Esau Edom, has he been living his existence just and right? Has he been an upstanding, law-abiding, upright person across the world for the eons and the generations has to come? No. He's been basically taking the world and doing everything as it seems as it pleaseth him. You see, he took the world and he's formed it to a system that benefits him. All right. Where if anybody else, if you don't come looking like him, if you don't come and bow down and worshiping him, then he's gonna try to outlaw you to make you the weirdo, to make you the outcast. You see? But we understand that this man, he has certain things that he has to pay. He has to pay back. All right. He has blood on his hands from not only does he have blood on his hands from just any people, he has blood on his hands from the Lord's people. All right. I'm not just talking about the so-called Negroes and I'm not even talking about the Southern Kingdom. I'm talking about the Northern Kingdom as well. From all the mass murderings that he did when he came over here and he slaughtered Gad and the 10 tribes. You see, these are all things that he has to pay. He has to pay back. All right, and if he doesn't pay it back, where's the justice in that? Where's the law in that? You see, would that be unrighteous if he's not to pay back, get payback for everything that he's done? You see, but in fact, in the book of Jeremiah, it talks about that. Yes, see, in Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16, it says, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. It says, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. See, and this is what basically talking about everything that we've been going through is going to go back on you heathens, man. Starting with you so-called white people. All right. This is your judgment. This is what you have to endure. You see? This is Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 12. It says, for thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have surely drunken it. Right? Who judgment wasn't to drink of that cup, man? It was us. The Israelites. We wasn't supposed to drink of that cup. And that cup is the Lord's indignation. The Lord indignation. You see? Everything that happened unto us, man, is because we drunk that cup. Well, it's like I should say, Everything that happened unto us is us drinking that cup. Slavery, us being lost from our heritage, us being up under your hand, all these atrocities that's been happening to the Israelites for many years. All this is because we've drunken that cup. All right, the cup of the Lord's indignation. All right. So the scripture says what? Those who wasn't supposed to drink it have surely drunken it. Now, if we being what? The Lord's apple of his eye, if we being who the Lord loves, the one he's called us by name, it says what? And art thou he that shall all altogether go unpunished? See? So are you thinking that you're going to be going unpunished? Are you thinking that you're going to be untouched for all the atrocities that you did, for all the mass death, the polluting of the earth, and the way you've been treating the world for these many years? You think you're going to go unpunished? The answer is no. It says what? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. See? So just how we had our turn to drink of it, guess what? You're gonna drink of it as well. You know, you're gonna get your just dessert. You're gonna get your what? Punishment, your justice. You see, and that's fair. That's fair. We did wrong. We had to suffer. We did wrong, so we had to suffer correction. You did wrong. Now you're gonna have to suffer correction. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 8. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balms for her pain. If so, she may be healed. It says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one in our own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even unto the sky. See, this is your judgment, man. Your judgment is to what? Is to be eradicated and to go into slavery for 1,000 years. All right. That's what the judgment of the so-called white man is. All right. And that's being justice. That's being your punishment. That's being to make a wrong, to right a wrong, to what is, how do they say it in the world? To right a wrong. It's basically to make a wrong back to a right. I forgot exactly the saying of it, but to right your wrongs, is one way of saying it. But yeah, that's the way, to put balance back in the earth. All right. To put what you down and set up the rightful ruler, the ones who's supposed to be ruling. You see, because what the punishment in the scriptures name you by name. You see, it names you by name. It says your kingdom is going to be taken. Your kingdom is going to fall. All right. The scripture says what? Hurt them that hurt the earth. I don't think it says earth. It might says world. No, matter of fact, Slocky. It doesn't say hurt. It says destroy them. It destroy the earth. Revelation chapter 11 verse 18, it says, and the nations were angry, and the wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, that they should be given reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyed the earth. See? And who's destroying the earth, man? Who is destroying the earth? Esau Edom is. You see, he's the one who's making plastic oceans, spraying all type of barium oxide in the air, making deadly chemicals like bisphenol A. All right, which is one chemical just among many in the food, in the water that we drink. You see, in the fruits and vegetables that we eat. This is the man who's doing all of that. That's why the scripture says, "What the earth shall be getting weaker through age," because what you're killing it. When something gets weak, when you get weak, when you get sick, what, you get weak, you get feeble, you get cold, you lose energy easily. It's because you're weak and feeble. All right, because your body is fighting off an infection, so it gets weaker. So what if the earth is weak? Look how weak the earth is. That's why you have all types of earthquakes going on. Natural disasters are happening on a daily. These things are not supposed to be these things are not supposed to be. You see, all these natural disasters, what animals are killing themselves. Yeah, we still teach about that, even though we won't talk about it a lot, but it's still happening. You see, all these things that are happening in the earth, it's all because of you. Because why? This is Job chapter 9, verse 24. It says, the earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? See? So the earth is given unto you. So what? You have the control of it right now. That's why anything you say goes. All right. So how are you treating the earth and how are you treating the world? You treating it like shit. You are literally destroying not only a place where the Israelite has to live, but everyone has to live here. Everyone has to live here, and you're completely and you're running it into the ground. You're like a bad child, you know, a really extremely bad child that who doesn't know the value of a dollar, and his father gives him the company, and he just runs it straight into the ground. He doesn't know how to talk to people. He's firing everybody. You see, he's a dictator. He doesn't know how to manage his emotions. You see, that's you. That's the type of person you are, and that's why you're gonna get your justice. You see, it says it says the meaning. It says right ordered equal to reward to someone of that which is his due. You see, it says righteousness equal verdict of. It says vindication of right. It says a court of judge. It says to the Greek philosophers, it says the notion was of each thing that is properly spread, sphered, or serving its purpose. It says inequality, the outcome implied. It says in something that is a verdict sense of his infliction of punishment. It says as a title of a jurisdictional officer. Justice of peace is as tended. It says to do justice to someone or something. Deal with it is a right and fitting. See, what is fitting for you? Fitting for you is destruction. You see, that's what your judgment is, because the way you've been, the deeds that you've been doing. All right, Scripture says what um whatever a man soweth, that which he shall reap, man. And what have you been sowing in the earth? Blood, death, destruction, rob, murder, pillaging. Scripture says what? If you live by the sword, you're gonna die by it. The scriptures also says what? Because you have not hated blood, blood shall pursue thee. All these scriptures that I'm quoting, man, are basically judgments against you Edomites. All right, these are all things against you because what? That's your reward. That's what you rightfully deserve. And then after you get your kingdom destroyed, after you get everything taken from you, then you're gonna go into slavery for 1,000 years, and you're gonna serve an Israelite, the number one people that you can't stand upon this planet Earth. They're gonna be up over you, lording and ruling over you for 1,000 years. And then once everything is done, once you've ruled your 1,000 years, once you got all your land taken, everything destroyed, when you have nothing else to give, then you're gonna give your what? Your life, your flesh. And you're gonna get completely eradicated off the planet Earth. I can't think of a more fitting punishment for you. That is the complete and utter perfection. You get everything that you've built up taken from you and destroyed, and then you got to be served for 1,000 years, generations upon generations. And then after that 1,000 years is served, after that everything has been accomplished, then you get completely eradicated, erased off the face of the earth. in one big whop. That's the most fitting punishment I can think of. You see, and rightfully deserved. You see, because you've been untouched for a long time. You got to think back in Genesis, the Lord put an I guess gave you a blessing where if any man touch you, he should receive sevenfold. But now, guess what? He's gonna take that, and you're finally gonna get touched. All right, but that's all that the word has. Again, that's the word justice. And we went into it how basically how Esau is gonna receive his justice. All right, so that's the end of this. That's the end of this word. Lord willing, this video was edifying for you brothers out there. So until next time, I want to say shalom.